Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today I start with an unmolding of a pour which I deleted by accident. But I thought I still share it with you, and I will later show you what I did for the coaster holder, the matching one. So this is the triangular Geode Coaster Mold from MoldsandShapes, and I've poured some flowers and I really liked them, and I thought I need to show you. And I was really happy with this. It's the 3D bloom technique, and I think it looks gorgeous in those triangles. I've used here for my white the pigment drops from Etta Art. For the golden that's in the flower itself, it's the Sahara Dust Gold from Petra Jungblut. And for the background, this is the Burnt Orange from Dipon. And yeah, you can see they turned out very nice. I'm really happy with them, and I was so upset that I deleted the tutorial. But anyway, I thought I'd just quickly show you the unmolding, and I hope you don't mind. But now going to my pour for my coaster holder, and this is the matching coaster holder, and I mixed some of the burnt orange and some black mica powder. And I have here for my resin the Mastercast resin, so I wanted to use a thick resin, and I want to pour the seashell technique with mica powders. This is something I wanted to do for quite a while, so I thought now it's the time to do it. And you see I start with some clear resin, and then I go further with the burnt orange. Yeah, that's the color. Also very carefully, I'm always using the torch to pop some bubbles, because my resin, the Mastercast resin, had a lot of air bubbles. And you see I am pouring very carefully just the burnt orange. Then I use the black. Both are just mica powders. There's no white, there's no resin ink, there's no resin tint. So only my clear resin and the two mica powders. And then I'm using a lot of clear resin to push out the first layer of those two colors. And I'm very careful with the black color, as you saw. So I'm using more of the burnt orange than the black. And then I'm doing the same again. So I added a little bit more of the clear here, and you can already see what the resin is doing. Now my burnt orange again. And then I go further with a little bit of the black. And like I said, I was very careful with the black because I didn't want the black to take over, because black is always a strong color, a strong pigment. And yeah, there you see that I'm also adding again the clear resin. And at the top, it already makes very beautiful patterns on the pouring side. Again, I'm using the torch, and then I use the black first this time. You see it there. Ever so little, you see it. And again, the burnt copper, sorry, not copper. Yeah. Push it out a little bit, and then for the rest I just put some clear resin in the tip of my triangular geode mold and push my colors out. So there's a lot of clear resin and not so much of the mica powder. And then I have this tip clear, and you will see it in a second that I will add some mixture of some glass stones, some pearls, some, I don't know. It's a mixture. Actually, Petra from Petra's Bunte Glitzerwelt bought for me, and I'm very grateful for this. Anyway, I also needed to take care for the legs, and this is what I'm doing before I put the mixture into the tip of my mold, into my coaster holder base. And you see here, I just put it clear resin into the legs, and then the burnt copper, why do I always say copper? The burnt copper, and then black on top, and then again a little bit of clear, and then I let, you know, the resin do whatever it needs to do in the whole mold. So I'm hoping, of course, in the legs that the colored resin will spread out a little bit, but I'm sure it will do because the mica powder is always spreading out, and mostly in a very nice way when you use a lot of clear resin and when you have clear resin as a base. So I'm very curious if this is going to work with the seashell technique and what pattern I can get with using these mica powders. So, and like I said, I need to take care for the tip. I could still add a little bit of clear resin because my mold was still not full. And then I can just use the mixture with the glass stones, which I mentioned before. So I don't put it into clear resin. I just add it directly into my mold. You see, I'm using quite a lot. Just need to push it in using here my dotting tool, and then I'm almost finished. And then I just let the resin do whatever it needs to do, like I mentioned before. There I just add a tiny bit, ever so slightly, clear resin on the tip. I need to be careful not to overfill my mold. And then I work in all the stones. And yeah, I'm very curious. I'm also spraying some alcohol so that I get rid of all the bubbles which are still on the surface. And now I'm there where my flowers are. I thought I show you them now before I show the demolding of the coaster holder so you can see the flowers. And yeah, it's a little bit a different video from normal, so I hope you don't mind, but I just wanted you to see those flowers because I was so happy and so upset that I didn't, that I deleted my video. Sometimes, I don't know, your fingers are faster than than your brain, and then it's deleted. But I was so happy with this outcome and with the colors. I might do this again using different colors. So, and this is now the day where I could demold my coaster holder. It's the next day, and I'm very curious. Yeah, I like the legs. They're looking like little mountains. And now the coaster holder itself, the base. And I'm so curious how it works with the seashell technique with the mica powders. And look at the legs. They are very cute, and I like the effect. They're not really like crackle effects. They just have a finer but very definite effect. Really think it's beautiful. And now there's the base of the holder, and I'm so curious. So let's have a look. And look at this. I think this is really beautiful. And you can see a little bit of the black, very hint of the black. And this is what I like. And you can really see how the effect starts from where I pour and then later on till the end of the coaster. And you put the legs like this for the coaster holder. I just glued them later on with resin. So you can see the final result of the coaster holder here. And look how the effects appear. It looks like the skin of a reptile or of a snake, I think. So I think it gives a lot more options to make very beautiful patterns with the seashell technique in such a mold. And this is now the final result also with my flowers again. I'm sorry that I'm sharing the flowers so often, but like I said, I was so annoyed with myself. So with this, I love and leave you. I thank you for watching, and take care, guys. Bye bye.